What's going on, guys? Sitting at the desk because it's so hot outside today. I'm a little bored, so I'm checking out some of the flex on the trucks. These guys are still chilling. They've been up here for a couple of days because it's too hot to put them back in the truck. So anyway, we got a full Mountain Dew can here underneath the Bronco. This has stock suspension. I put the stock shocks on here that would have came from the Blazer when I put that lift kit stuff off, took it off of there. So anyway, as you can see though, about a ½ inch off the ground with a Mountain Dew can. It doesn't quite flex out with it. I believe my Gen8 will actually, but it's close, very close. It's not bad flex either. I'm not saying it's anything bad, at least on the back one. But here's my Blazer with the Desert Lizard shocks. And I honestly cannot give you the exact millimeter. I'm pretty sure they're 90s. I think they're 90 millimeter Desert Lizards, but don't hold me to it. I'll have to get the box and look. I also do have a little wheel hex extension on this truck because the portals wouldn't clear the rims without it. They were rubbing on the top. So there is a little extender on there. It doesn't make a big difference on this truck. You can see this one does tuck right underneath it. And this one here, I am sticking just a little out. It's not a big difference. Just enough the wheels would fit. But also, my tires are, not only are they still touching the ground, I can still add this tire underneath it, watch. Alright. We just added it's actually it's a 1.9 rim anyway, I don't know. But anyway, we just added that. Under the Mountain Dew can, all tires are still touching the ground. All the way around. That's with that little extension and then Desert Lizards. That's a good, at least an inch more by the time you're down on the rim, you know. So, 1.25 inches taller, something like that. So that's pretty good. I'm going to pull over the Gen8 and see what it can flex at. Alright, before I grab the Gen8s, I wanted to see if the front tire would flex the same. And about the same on this truck. You got just a little bit of wheel bounce here. Not a lot. Barely any. This truck is touching barely. It's barely touching back here, but it is touching the ground. I can pick it up and make it move, but I can feel it touching the ground. Barely. I mean, see, when I push it, doesn't rock the truck. So it's there. Any higher, it would be off the ground, but that's still pretty good. I need to get a tape measure and check, but so let me check the Gen8s. I already know the black Gen8's going to have the better flex than the purple one, I think. Well, alright. Actually, they both are pretty much able to do the Mountain Dew can now. I'm surprised with the purple one because it's got these Injora mountain shocks with the internal spring. And unlike the Desert Lizards, these ones won't compress all the way. They do hit the spring and leave a gap. But the only reason this thing is, I mean, this tire is barely touching the ground. Barely. The only reason it is because there's not very good foams left in these wheels, and that tire over there is pretty much just collapsed. If that tire was not collapsed, this tire would not be touching the ground. It would be about like the TRX4 the Bronco, I mean. Now the Gen8 over here that has stock shocks, it's fully planted on the ground. But any higher and it would come up. But it has, it's got a little more flex than this one. Another way you can notice is on this right here where the tire's up in the wheel well. On this one, you can see there's a lot more room here because these shocks, they extend okay. They just do not compress all the way. You lose at least 1/4 inch on the shock travel when you get these shocks. They look like the Desert Lizard sorta, but the Desert Lizards will compress all the way without that spring affecting it on the inside. These won't. They go down to about 1/4. So anyway, let's check the front wheel. Okay, here's where you start to see some difference. Now on both of my Bronco and the Blazer, the front wheel and the rear wheel flex came out to the same amount basically. And here, both of these trucks, if I put the tire under that same wheel that I did on the other trucks, I'm over an inch in the air with this back one on the mountain shocks. And I'm like 3/4 probably, or 1/2 inch to 3/4 even on this one. I mean, that's a difference from front to back, or what it would flex. I'm gonna see if maybe when it's the other wheel coming up, it'll probably take the whole can for some reason. Well, alright, for whatever reason, the driver's side tire will flex out more than the passenger side front tire. So that right there shows you a little downfall when it comes to a Gen 8, I guess, and on their articulation. For some reason, that passenger side wheel on the front will not come up as high as the other one. And I haven't tried to flex out these back sides here. Let's try switching to these back ones now. Well, alright, when it comes to the back wheel on either side, you get full flex. It's only the front front passenger wheel when it won't fully flex for whatever reason. So anyway, fun fact, I guess. Now we can't leave out this TF2. Let's break it out, see what kind of flex she's got. Well, amazingly, the TF2 is able to flex completely on a Mountain Dew can as well. You just have to lay it on its side. It's still pretty good. I don't care. That's not bad for a TF2. So, any higher, she's off the ground. That's funny. Let's see, what can I get in the back here? Let's do a whole tire. One tire. Can we do 2 tires? I highly doubt 2 tires will do this. Oh wow. I got 2 whole tires flexed out. Now that surprised me. It's not bad on a TF2 actually. Them wheels look good on that truck. If I could only figure out how to get them screws to stay in the steering links. I drove this thing yesterday in a video with electrical tape going around the hubs to keep my steering screws from just dropping out of there where they're stripped. I still haven't made it down to get any Loctite or anything yet. That's my only resort, is will enough Loctite hold them in there without them just dropping out, without bonding everything else together and not wanting to turn good, you know. The only other option is new front axles. You might as well just buy the whole set of axles if you're going to buy a new one. So, and I don't really think that's in the budget right now. So anyway, you guys, I guess that's it. We just checking the flex. TRX4 does have the most Desert Lizard shocks by a long shot. Like I say, we was able to go with that on the Desert Lizards. So, it's pretty good. Please like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.